times things have gotten more interesting, I'm going to link to an article below where apparently Anonymous is getting involved. They say anonymous, but it's just one guy. So how does that represent a whole group? But whatever. You know, if they want to say they're anonymous, hey, go for it. You know. Anyway, my point is, this one guy hacks the senator and shows data that proves why he has the incentive to vote for the bill to detain Americans indefinitely. He's got, he got a lot of money. I don't know how much exactly. Let me pull it up. I got so many windows up, I don't even know what to do with them all. He got nearly $300,000 for lobby from corporations for this bill. In my honest opinion, for a bill like this, I would hold out for more. You know, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a politician, I'd be a fucking street whore about it. But I would hold out for fucking more than $300 grand to detain Americans indefinitely. But that's me. I have some dignity, and I know what it's like being poor. So you're going to have to give me more enticement than just me continuing to be poor to vote for your shitty bill. My only guess is that congressmen fear not voting for something because then they'll be ejected from the party. That, if they don't comply, they will be ostracized from the rest of their constituents. And that is more threatening to them than just not getting that $300 grand. Or maybe the $300 grand is just a start, and there's more money coming to him after the bill actually gets passed. Because that's how it works in organized crime. They give you a little bit to start with to show you that they got the money, and then after you complete the task, then the real money comes in. So, I don't know if he's just selling himself short for $300 grand for this very important, obviously very controversial bill, or if, he just figures, hey, $300 grand, I could buy a new car with that. My point is, that I think it's funny that I've been saying all along, how long have I been saying that 4chan is terrorism? That 4chan is the one that started Anonymous. Anonymous got its start on fucking 4chan. 420chan is a drug board. They talk about making illegal drugs, selling them, doing them, things like that. There's 4chan, which is full of white supremacists. I could link to all these guys if you want me to, people. I've done it in the past. And nobody ever listens to me. Everybody ignores it. Well, you need to start listening. Because if this bill passes, I bet all of these guys are going to get taken down. I bet all this, flaunting and all this puffing of the chest Anonymous is doing is going to come back on them, and then they're going to go after them first and foremost. They are going to be the poster childs for this bill. And you know what? I'm completely okay with that. Because all of those websites had their opportunity to prove that they were for freedom, and they aren't. They could have proven they were for freedom by just defending freedom of speech. Like I said in the past, like I said about Alex Jones and David Icke and all the other shitheads, I don't care what you think, but let me say my opinion. I don't care if we disagree. We can argue, we can insult each other. I let people troll my page all the time. Look at all the ignorant twat shit they say. It is the most ridiculous, asinine, and it's only there to aggravate me. But I let it slide. Why? Because I believe in freedom of speech. The only time I've only ever blocked one person, and that was because he was threatening to flag my videos just to see me get banned again. So there is your answer. I am for freedom of speech, 100%. Don't ban me. That's all I ask out of you, and you can't fucking do that. 4chan couldn't do it. 4chan couldn't do it. 420chan couldn't do it. RevLev couldn't do it. SovietEmpire.com couldn't do it. Apparently all of you believe in all of this shit. You're just so passionate about liberty and about the people and the workers, but you can't let someone speak their mind. You can't let someone talk like a sensible human being. Because the way I'm talking right now, what about this deserves to be banned? What? Is it because it's not an opinion you want to hear? Is it because it's in a stern voice? Is it because occasionally I talk about how gays are bad? Or about how people don't have the right to moderate you? What about me deserves to be humiliated, degraded, and not given basic human rights? You know? But that concept is completely lost to people, especially in the West. So that is why I support this bill. I know, a lot of my communist friends are going to say that, that's reactionary and that, this is terrible for human rights and shit, but this is the type of thing people deserve. We can achieve communism even under authoritarian regimes, and I believe it could be done even more efficiently that way, but that is besides the point. This is exactly what people get for being the pieces of crap that they are, and I applaud that. I hope to God that the guy that hacked this guy is the first one to go to Guantanamo Bay, and I hope he has a bag over his head, and I hope he never sees his family again, because that's what he gets for banning me. That's what he gets for not respecting my rights. You didn't defend me, I'm not going to defend you. I'm going to condemn you. I'm going to publicly come out and say, fuck Anonymous, fuck 4chan, fuck all of them. Fuck all the storm bags and all the, neo-Nazis and nationalists and everybody else who has time to have their opinion but doesn't let me have time to have my opinion. You always give me some runaround about how, we'll just go to a different forum. Well, what forum? If anyone can ban me, everyone's going to ban me. Because they all figure, well, I can just ban him. No, that's going to stop now. Finally, there's going to be some fucking justice in the world. And, it might not be the hero that we need, but it is the hero Gotham deserves. That's how I look at this bill. And, I just think Anonymous is setting itself up for some epic failure. And I'm very glad about it. As bitter and vengeful as I am glad to see them self-sabotaging themselves by hacking into these politicians' accounts and things and, exposing them. But meanwhile, it's just going to give them more incentive to introduce this bill and pass it and enforce it to the full extent possible because they figure, well, I guess we were right all along, Because it's not even a matter of, I don't think everyone in Washington is a huge dick that wants to control you and is just rubbing their hands together like a Captain Planet villain. I think what it is there are some people like that. There are other people that worry about, not having a political career if they don't go along with it. Then there are the people that can be bribed into doing it. And then there are the people that figure, well, either way, they hate us. They hate us as politicians. And if I don't pass this bill, they're going to come after me and my family. And it's just self-preservation. So you're bringing this upon yourself. And you started with me. You didn't start with Washington. You didn't start with Occupy with Wall Street. You started with me. You started with a normal guy who just wanted to have his opinion, just wanted to talk to other people, just say what he had to say, and you didn't let it happen. You thought you were too good for that. You thought you were, impervious to any consequences or repercussions for oppressing someone that did absolutely nothing to you and is of no threat to you. And now it's going to come to bite you in the ass. And I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to savor this moment. And I know that some people say, oh, well, this could happen to you, Jim Crawford. Look how radical an opinion you have. I have nothing to lose. I was already oppressed. I was already silenced. I was already considered, an enemy of pretty much everybody. I was treated like shit. People don't like me. So this doesn't affect me. This only affects you. This affects your world. This affects your perception that everything is just fine and dandy. So get prepared to get fucked in the ass, and I'm going to laugh at you the entire time.